And then in around 74, I started working for one of my favorite people who's gone now, but Lou Iliopoulos. And he was a genius and a little on the wild side. He had a lot of kids. I don't know if he actually played for the Cincinnati, but I know he was on their farm team. Anyway, he also bought the Jacksonville Suns while I was with him, and I did the books for them. Throughout that period of time was so traumatic. I need to write a book on it, but I became so good at kiting checks. I had no idea what I was doing, of course. I was just this little dumb country bookkeeper, and I was a hard worker, and my husband left me, so I needed to be needed, and he was desperate for somebody to help him manage, and he didn't have any money, but he had a lot of guts and a lot of people working. And I remember I'd go in and I'd say, Lou, I don't know how I'm going to make it. We bought 9 cemeteries and a funeral home, and with no money. And I had IRS at the door, Department of Revenue, Comptroller's office after me, nonstop. And to pay people, I would kite enough money from one cemetery, run to the bank, cash the checks, and it was all a timing game, which you could do then. And so I made it work, and it was tough. One time I had to go to IRS, and I just cashed everyone's checks so that they'd get paid before they all hit the bank at once. I had to go early, and I had a couple $1,000s in my purse or in my briefcase. And I went to IRS downtown and was sitting there. I'm trying to think of the guy's name, really handsome IRS guy. But anyway, I went, talked to him, talked my way out of a mess, came back, came home, went to pay people, and I'd left my briefcase in the IRS waiting room with all that cash. I drove back and I got it. But things have never been up and up. If they haven't been up and up on that level, they haven't been up and up. And it's so evident. But they had the media. So what can you do? You have no real choice but to believe what you're told, right? We didn't have any other options like we do today. This place is so beautiful. At any rate, over the years, it's just mounted. And I've seen way, way too much. And I had some time where I rode with the outlaws and I wanted to understand. And, they were primarily Vietnam vets, the outlaws in the other clubs that I met, and they were angry over Vietnam. Who can blame them? I was angry too. We would go into school and look at the bulletin board to see who was still alive. Yeah. The American dream that they talk about is media. Yeah, we've had a beautiful world to live in, but they're destroying it by the minute. Anyway, I don't want to get off on a bad note. I just wanted to say I'm going to put this all together because if you had been where I've been, you would see how we got here.